I am intervention.
And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Justin McCormick, aka Mr. Intervention, back again, and we're doing something a bit different. College football is right around the corner, and we're going to bring in this man. We had this man in the Arena Football League for our little franchise, the Cincinnati Slash. So we're going to see if we can maybe change his fate. As you can see, this man is got some decent height, 6'3", 225 pounds. We're going to go through his first years of college and then see how well he can do from there, as Joseph Burns is a speedy wide receiver. Hopefully we can do something with this man's career, but the first thing we got to do is get through that last year of high school. We'll definitely be doing that here shortly. And this is going to be the first game of the senior season of high school for Joseph Burns, as the Minneapolis high school team will be taking on Minnetonka. As this is going to be a very interesting game for sure. Some of these games, Joseph started off very slow. Some games he just went out firing. But we'll definitely let you see what ends up happening as the season progresses. We'll definitely get the entire season out the way in this first video, so that way we can get into the college side of things here, as Minnetonka will be playing defense first. So Joseph starting off there, far right side is his spot, and he's going to be running into the open field and watching his players make the play here. A short little in route for Burns here, as he's going to be able to watch his fellow receiver Peters get that one. That's going to be a good catch and a first down. Burns looked like he had a step there, but not able to get open, as that is going to be an incompletion. Burns, however, will get this one. That's going to be over the middle, and he's going to get a good 20-yard gain on that one. Try to go for the little out route there, and that is going to be a misfire by White, the quarterback, as Burns trying his best to track down the recipient of the football, as that was intercepted. And then another interception there by White, as White let that one go, and Minnetonka takes the lead. Later in the game, another interception, the third for White in this one, as he is literally throwing the football game away, as Joseph Burns cannot catch him. And Minnetonka will take the lead, as they're up by 11 now. Joseph Burns with a catch, nearly was able to break that one, and finally brought down by the safety, as he finds a good gain for a first down on that catch and run. Later in the game, all tied up at 31, as Joseph Burns able to barely get that one over the middle with 3:47 left in the game, as Burns showing he does have hands, as he was a little skeptical in the Arena Football League, as that one was a very close attempt there. That one falls just shy, but Minnetonka unable to come back and win this one. Minneapolis tops them up. Week number 2 is going to start off early for Burns, as Burns able to get that one on the in route. And he's going to try yet again for another one. That one's going to be thrown out of bounds, as White couldn't find Burns in time to get that one. And then this in route is going to be intercepted. Post angle did not work out there, as that one picked off. Burns in a bit of a screen, bubble screen there. He's going to be able to run upfield and make that catch and get near the first down on this drive, as he decided to break and take the football as far as he could. with Minneapolis leading 10-7. Burns tries to go over the middle, but the linebacker in the way of that one, as Burns trying to go deep on this one, and White throws an interception to the left-hand side of the field. Burns yet again trying to find an opening as he's going to find his way to the sideline, but not able to reel that pass in just over his head. Burns able to get a couple on this one as Minneapolis down by 4 at the moment. And then after a slew of scoring, Minneapolis not only gets the lead by 10, but gives it to Burns as White finds his man. And that is a huge touchdown score for Joseph Burns, his first of the season and the first of many, as the defense just could not track him down after that catch. Speedy Joseph Burns able to see his team win this one as Minneapolis defeats Champlin 34-21. Week 3 now, as Joseph Burns trying to start things off early with a deep route, as that one is going to be defended very well, as Joseph Burns trying to go over the middle and does not get that one, but he sees a fumble on the ground. That's going to be picked up, and that is going to be a fumble recovery touchdown as Minneapolis goes down early, 7-0. That catch over in the middle by Joseph Burns. Then he's drugged down by the face mask. That is going to be an extra 15 yards and an automatic first down. As in a little bubble screen this time, and that is heir apparent. One catch for 9 yards so far for Burns as he's trying to make something happen here. He's going to break free on this one, but that is overthrown by White. Minneapolis still down by 7. Joseph Burns able to break past the corner. Corner's unable to catch him. And with 3 minutes left in the game, Minneapolis right there into tying this up 17-all. After regulation ends, we end up going to overtime. Joseph Burns able to catch that one inside the red zone at the 5. Then they're going to go for the short touchdown pass there. White's able to find his receiver into the back of the end zone. That is going to be the game. Minneapolis wins it as they beat Woodbury in this week of action. Minneapolis taking on New Hope in this one as Joseph Burns already trying to go deep on this one. Looks for the corner, but he can't find it as White just barely overthrows him. Then Burns on the in route there. He cannot be found that time either as Minneapolis leads at 7-3 at the moment. As that one is going to be caught by a fellow Blazer. He's going to catch that one. That's going to be good. Burns finds a way to get open, but this one underthrown, and that is going to be intercepted. And this ball game now in the hands of New Hope as they take the lead. And then with that interception, that swings momentum. Now Minneapolis got to see if they can make something happen here. As that one is a deep pass. That's going to be caught as New Hope now finds Minneapolis coming back on them, 17-all. A lot of scoring here, and then a 2-point conversion attempt here as Minneapolis needs to get this one. Joseph Burns able to squeeze past coverage, and that ties the ball game up with 4:52 left in the game. With 3:28 left, score still tied at 24 as Burns goes over the middle. He's got that catch. He's going to get inside the 30 to about the 28-27 as time runs out in this game as Minneapolis was able to put together a winning drive as they beat New Hope 27-24. Brooklyn Park High School, the next opponent for Joseph Burns and the Minneapolis Blazers, as Joseph Burns able to catch that one over the middle. He goes for the out route, and he's going for the corner of the end zone, and that one just deflected, incomplete. So one catch for 13 yards is all he's got at the moment, but that could change here in a moment as Joseph Burns sees his fellow receiver catch that one in the back of the end zone, touchdown. Score tied at 14 here as the first half comes to a close as you see Joseph Burns able to get a second catch there. Now looking to go deep on this one. Joseph Burns catches that one in the breadbasket, and that is going to be enough to get him a huge gain. The sad part about it, though, is I believe the drive did not come to any kind of points, however. So now third quarter of action as Minneapolis down by 4 at the moment, as that one is going to be overthrown by White as that is picked off. Joseph Burns able to make the tackle. 1 minute left in the third. Minneapolis down by 11 here as Joseph Burns catches that one over the middle past the 30 for a first down. But they are going to fall regardless on this one as the Brooklyn Park team able to defeat Minneapolis 28-20. Now Crystal taking on Minneapolis as Joseph Burns gets an early catch here as they are leading 6-0 at the moment after a missed extra point. Minneapolis able to get some kind of yardage going, and that one an errant throw by White as Burns was trying to move to the inside of the field, and White throws a pick, and that one taken all the way to the house. Crystal takes a 1-point lead as the second half of action's underway there. Burns able to catch that one in bounds and has some room to run, knocked out in the red zone. As Burns with another catch here. He's going to get this one over the middle and be inside the red zone as Minneapolis has a 9-7 lead. Now 16-7 late in the fourth quarter as Burns gets that catch or less out of the field. And Minneapolis will hang on to this one as they will beat Crystal by the final score of 19-7. A good game for them in that one. Minneapolis back at home once again as the Blazers looking to see if they can beat their opponents in this one as they take on Apple Valley. Apple Valley, a pretty decent squad, while the Blazers have got to try and get some work going. Joseph Burns has had some flashes. He's going to be looking to try and make things happen here as he catches that one over the middle, and that is going to be a deep post for a score. Minneapolis scores first on a big one there as Joseph's first catch is a touchdown. He's going to catch that one over the right-hand side for catch number 2 as Apple Valley is not paying enough attention to Burns at the moment, as that is a big score there. 2 catches, 61 yards, and a touchdown so far for Burns at this point, as it is still early in the first quarter as Burns is going to get open over the middle. But sadly, that one dropped as he's unable to get that catch and reel it in. But this catch in the first quarter will be reeled in as Joseph Burns and his team hang on to a 7-0 lead as there's another catch over the middle there as Burns now with 5 catches, 103 yards, and a touchdown as he continues to amass some stats here in this one. Able to beat the corner that time, and Burns using that speed, he is gone and scores before the end of the half. Joseph Burns gets his second touchdown on this big catch and run there as the cornerback just could not hang on. 14-7 now, Minneapolis leading this one as Burns gets a step on his guy, has just enough room to make another catch at 766 yards on the day for Joseph Burns as he is having a career day on this senior year as he stays in bounds on this one but just cannot get into the end zone out at about the 1 or the 2 as Burns able to catch that one over the shoulder and found enough room to stay in bounds before shoved out there at the 2-yard line. Joseph Burns definitely happy about this day as he approaches 200. Joseph goes in motion here and then cuts back to the outside and catches that one right over the left shoulder. Touchdown, Minneapolis. As you see all the highlights of Burns in this game, he has had a lot of times where he's been wide open and he has found the football going right into his hands. It has been very, very rough for this defense to really stop him. 9 catches, 238 yards, and 3 touchdowns for Joseph Burns, as Minneapolis will win this one in a rout. The final score, 38-7 over Apple Valley, as Apple Valley falls to Minneapolis. Minneapolis moves on to their next opponent to see if they can continue their winning ways. Minneapolis will be taking on Hibbing in this one, as Joseph Burns sees his team go down big, 14-0, as some big turnovers and some defensive laxes have caused a bunch of issues. Joseph Burns, however, able to get open there as Hibbing shoots out to a 28-3 lead, and Joseph Burns trying to see if he can wheel his team back into it, as that makes it 28-9 with the extra point to come, as Joseph Burns just beat his guy. This time Burns watches another receiver make a great catch in the end zone, and this brings the Hibbing score down. Eventually they get it down to 4, as Hibbing is falling apart, as Joseph Burns unable to reel that one in over the middle, as that brings up the fourth quarter. Midway through the fourth quarter, Hibbing up by a score, as Joseph Burns gets open, finds the ball, fights off one man, and is able to find the end zone, as he gets that one as hard as he possibly can. 35-30 now, as the Minneapolis Blazers are doing what they can to possibly come back in this. Joseph Burns with 4 catches, 169 yards and 3 touchdowns, but unable to actually get this one, as the Hibbing team defeat them. Now Minneapolis looking to see if they can possibly do something here against Moorhead, as Joseph Burns will open things up with a post route over the middle past the 30 for the first down, as Joseph Burns at this point now is going to be going on a screen. He's going to run up the gut there and find an opening. That's going to get some good yards there as he gets catch number 2. Joseph Burns hoping to wheel his team to victory here, as Moorhead looks to try and stop him. 2 catches, 33 yards at this point. Then immediately after that catch, Joseph Burns breaks past his guy, able to get that one over the shoulder and bring that one in inside the 5 for a big first down, as it looks like all the teams are having trouble covering this man. So 3 catches, 62 yards on the day, but yet to find the end zone at the moment, as Burns looking to see if he can possibly make something happen. There goes up the gut there, as Minneapolis with a big lead at the moment, but then throws an interception. White might see his lead start to slip. 21-14 at the moment, as Moorhead is leading, is behind in this one, but they won't be behind long if they keep making interceptions, as Minneapolis back on offense again, and Joseph Burns able to get that one. D-back unable to make the tackle, and Joseph Burns flying into the end zone for a touchdown. And then things start to kind of fall apart for Minneapolis, as this one, a big catch there, as Minneapolis down by 2, but the time ran out on them, and Minneapolis finds their lead slip and fall away. And for whatever reason, I forgot to actually hit record on this, but the first play of the game, Joseph Burns finds a bomb and scores a touchdown against Fridley, as now Joseph Burns trying to find room here on this right-hand side. He catches that one over the right-hand shoulder and brings it in for another huge catch, as Joseph Burns is going to want a big day against Fridley on this one after their loss. Apparently every time Burns loses, he gets mad and starts to try and break out. So Fridley down 14-3 as Burns gets open over the middle, and that one is caught, snagged away from the safety. Safety jumped it, but he missed, and Joseph Burns will score again as it is now 21-3. Watch this replay. Burns reaches up, brings in the football. The safety thought he had it, but no way he was going to be able to get that one as Burns found the end zone right afterwards. Burns in trying to break his man here on this, but White throws it to the left side of the field, and that is intercepted as Fridley will now have it in very good field position. Looks like the score slipping away from Minneapolis as it is 28-24. Fridley with a big comeback as Burns gets his fourth catch. Now over 200 yards on the day as he goes to the corner of the end zone, finds the football, and stays in bounds. As you'll see all the highlights on the day for him here. It has been a huge day for him against Fridley, as Burns has just been lighting up the defense, especially with a lot of close plays like this. As he's able to get the feet down there for the score. 7 catches, 265 yards, and 3 touchdowns on the day. One of his better days. As now Minneapolis up by 4. As Burns looking to try and get another one. He's unable to hang on to that though. 2:52 left in the game now. Winds down to less than a minute. Fridley has the lead at the moment. They're up by 3. But a huge catch by the receiver on the other side of the field. That is going to be a touchdown from Minneapolis as they're up by 3, and they eventually run the clock out and win it as Minneapolis had to come back and beat Fridley 42-38 in that game. It shouldn't have been close. Now Minneapolis taking on Minnetonka as they find themselves deep in Minnetonka territory. Joseph Burns goes to the corner of the end zone and gets a short throw towards his ankles as White thought he would come back for it, but Burns able to reach down, grab that thing at ankle height, and run that one into the end zone. So good heads-up play there by Joseph Burns as he saved what could have been an incompletion. Tie ball game now as the first half comes to a close. Burns goes over the middle there, finds that reception as that's going to give them some good yards, but they'll find the first half ending as Burns finds the football yet again. Minneapolis down here on this one as Minnetonka with the big lead, 17-7 at the moment. But Burns is out there fighting as Burns gets that one over the middle. That's a huge hit, but he hangs on to it. 6 catches, 102 yards, and a touchdown so far. Last quarter of play, Burns catches that one on a bit of a bubble wheel route as that one's going to be a nice little screen as he gets the first down there. About 5 yards on that catch. And then a little bit of a bubble screen here or there. Burns moves up and makes the catch that time as he is trying to lead his team in a scoring position. 17-10 now. Minneapolis still down as Burns goes up the gut on that one. Nice little slant over the middle. And Burns goes past the defense as he finds the football and then finds the end zone. And Minneapolis takes the lead, and they will hang on to it as the Minneapolis Blazers beat Minnetonka in this one 24-17. So Minneapolis taking on Apple Valley one more time in this one, as last time they embarrassed them. This time they want to try and see. Apple Valley wants to see if they can actually make it a more competitive football game as Minneapolis has the lead already 7-0, and Burns helps with a catch there on that one. Burns in, breaks past the corner and finds the end zone as he's able to score yet again. That is another touchdown for Burns as he starts to get closer to 100 yards after that little nice catch. The one thing I did forget to do in this was actually take a total of the stats at the end of the year. I may have to go back and try and see if I can do something like that for the college career, as that pass goes incomplete there. Apple Valley able to get a field goal, but Joseph Burns is trying to show them that field goals are not going to win the football game. Touchdowns will, though, as he scores yet again. That makes it 21-3. Apple Valley unable to get anything going there, as this one will be a huge bomb to Burns. Burns, though, tracked down as he had to slow down to catch it. 4 catches, 179 yards, and 2 touchdowns in the first half. The final half, though, nothing really happened for Burns as he couldn't find the football, but Minneapolis wins it 21-11, and they'll move on. Things finally heating up here as it is the championship game. They take on St. Cloud, the red and the black, looking to try and show Minneapolis that they mean business. So this is for everything. Playing at the home stadium of the Golden Gophers. So the state of Minnesota will see who their state champions are going to be in this one. Is it Minneapolis or St. Cloud? As we will see on this one is Joseph Burns will start things off here. He'll get that on the slant. That's going to get a good first down for Minneapolis as the Blazers look to try and make something happen against this team. As still early in the game, Minneapolis has the lead, but no longer has the football, as that is an interception, and that is going to be returned all the way for a touchdown. And St. Cloud takes advantage there. Now the ball goes back to Minneapolis, and Burns looking to try and break free. He gets that one along the sidelines, and he's like, I want my lead back. There's a huge touchdown for Burns, as he wants to let the state of Minnesota know he's the best receiver out there in the whole state, maybe even the whole nation, as he found that one along the sidelines and was able to stay in bounds by a good distance before finding the end zone. So Minneapolis still leading 14-7 as Burns goes over the middle, able to find room there and gets inside the red zone for a huge first down. 21-7 now as Minneapolis able to score on that last drive. Burns again helping over the middle with a big slant for a catch. 4 catches, 123 yards, and a touchdown. As Burns breaks past the corner and he finds the corner of the end zone for a huge touchdown, as Joseph Burns has just been working the football and working the field and working the defense off and on all day long, as Joseph Burns scores yet again. He's showing to be a prolific receiver, as that is touchdown 2, catch 5, 155 yards, and St. Cloud falls to Minneapolis. Minneapolis wins this one, and they win the state championship 28-21 over St. Cloud. So now that the high school career of Joseph Burns is finished, we're going to look into what is going to be the college choices, as his prestige is up there. He has a choice to go anywhere, as we'll first look where I came from, the SEC. Alabama, LSU, Arkansas, South Carolina, and Kentucky are all choices that he can do. Probably one of the better choices might be the LSU with the multiple packages. South Carolina could also be a good one, but if he wants to go into a pro package, Arkansas and Kentucky could be good ones, but Alabama also has those single back style that could definitely benefit for a bunch of receivers. Then the scholarships earned out of the Big 12 is Missouri and Iowa State. Iowa State, one of the first scholarships that Burns obtained. And then the Big 10, Ohio State, Iowa, and Minnesota, if he wants to go the route of there. Those are all big options that he could go to if he so chooses. He could pick any one of them. So now I'm going to be taking a look at where Joseph Burns will be if he signs with anybody. Minnesota, he's labeled as a first string as well as in Kentucky. So if he wants to go to the SEC, he can definitely go to any of these 4, like Iowa State or Clemson as well. So he could be the top receiver in any of those. Funny thing is, Arkansas was a choice of mine, but he would be a 5th string receiver over in Arkansas at the SEC, so we definitely decided that that was not going to be an option. As we take a look at some of the second string ones we can do, Iowa, South Carolina, Ohio State will be a good one, as well as Missouri, LSU, and Virginia Tech is the start of the third stringers. We did not want to go down that far. So the big decision is that we decide to go to LSU. So Joseph Burns starting practice off here. So definitely going to see how well things go, as he is not the fastest thing in the league, as you'll definitely see later on. But the first practice here at LSU goes to show a little bit of promise, as he catches that one inbounds and gets a good bit of score there. As we take a look at another rep here. 25 reps, definitely a lot of practice, as Joseph Burns able to catch that one over the middle. One of the big things when it comes down to it is you definitely have to understand field presence, as that time did not see the ball come out there, and it was just horrible. That rep could have actually made the difference when it comes to something you'll see here in a bit, as they go with an end around here. And the funny part here, I did not expect the end around to actually go to Joseph, but it did, and he ran straight into the linebacker. The out route here, not really an option I like over this side, but Burns had an opening on the left-hand side if the quarterback had seen him, but it did not happen. That's okay. Big post pattern here, or the in route, excuse me, on Joseph Burns, but was not able to find the football. As Burns looking to try to make something happen here, and this one is not going to make it either. Burns tried to catch the bobble, but just did not work out. Burns in looking to try and hit this one, but again bobbled. Good play by the defense. Burns able to go on a post route in this one. So over the middle, and he's not going to get looked at on that one. Now they start doing the Hail Marys, which is very interesting, especially at practice. So Burns decides to do an in route, goes over the middle and catches that one at the 20. So really good there for him, as he's starting to get a few more points. And then going for a little screen here, Burns just going to stand there as he finally gets the football. Able to break the one tackle, but unable to get past everybody, as they are all very fast, especially on this team. As Burns finds a way to the end zone and nearly had the touchdown, and stepped out there at the 1. But that gave him quite a bit of points and a lot of coach trust. So Joseph Burns trying to see if he can repeat that, but that's not going to work out. Good play by the D-back. Joseph Burns this time going to be on a drag route, so as he's going to get stopped there, and that's not going to be an opening to be able to get the football. And Burns looking to try and work the end zone here, but that's not going to work out either, as he is not open. So another post pattern here for Burns, as Burns will not be looked at for that one as well either. Burns trying another corner route this time, as this one thrown to the end zone, and he is going to actually get that one. That is going to be a touchdown. So Burns gets a lot of points that time. Just needed about 27, I believe, to actually get maxed out on the coach trust, as Burns might have been open over the middle that time, but was not looked at. Burns able to earn a lot of experience in these practices, and that's definitely going to help out, especially when we start to try and upgrade his skill set. So we've got a number of years to try and upgrade him, but Joseph Burns is starting off very, very high-rated player. I believe starting off at about an 85, maybe 87 right now, as he's got some pretty good catch. as that one thrown over the middle, but great plays by the safety as they've got 2 wraps left to try and make something happen. Burns jammed up there at the line, so he's unable to get open as the last little rep here, and he needs about 17, I believe, to be able to max out as Burns tries to go up the middle but unable to get it. And then you see some of the upgrades that we got. We decided either catch and turn or perfect hands were going to be the upgrades we're going to go with. We decided to go with perfect hands, so that's going to bring the catching up to an 86, acceleration at a 90. So Joseph Burns overall is an 88 right now as a freshman. So true freshman at the wide receiver 2 spot. So Joseph Burns is going to be looking to try and see if he can make an impact. As you can see all the LSU Tigers walking out there wanting to try and defend their home turf, as this is going to be a fun first game as they're going to take on the Oregon Ducks. Oregon Ducks are very, very tough squad. As you see, Joseph Burns having to take the number 84 as number 1 was not a viable option over at LSU. So Burns having to go with 84. And if anybody can guess why he picked 84, well, yeah. There's a big little interception there for the Ducks as they shoot out to a 2 field goal lead, 6-0, then score a touchdown here, 13-0 now as LSU has a lot of work to do. Burns trying to get open over there. He finds his way all the way to the other sideline and able to drag the feet, as that would be a legal catch in the NFL as you watch him just take that one. And with that secured catch, it's his first catch in college football as Burns looking to try and make something happen there. Makes that catch and bursts upfield, gets to the 50-yard line as the Tigers only down now by 6, 13-7. As Burns cuts across field, makes a huge little play there. First half starting to tick down, only a minute left in it with LSU down by 6 as Joseph Burns gets past the corner and he's able to actually get open but just can't reel that one in as Burns then decides he's just going to straight up shoot down the field, gets all the way down to the 10-yard line before being drugged down by the safety as Joseph Burns just flat out found the hole downfield as they were not covering him at all as the Tigers are having fun on the sideline. LSU does take the lead as Joseph Burns able to get that catch, but that's a loss of a yard. So 14-13. And then Oregon finally scores yet again. Joseph Burns able to catch that one. Then he breaks the tackle, and Joseph Burns showing what he showed in high school as he takes that one to the house. As LSU now fighting their way back into this football game like they have been all game, as Burns has been a key component for them. He's not been the top dog, but he's been showing that he is a big dog in this fight. So far in his college debut, 5 catches, 120 yards, and a touchdown. Final 21 seconds left in regulation. Joseph Burns fights to get open, but then on the middle of the field, the Oregon Ducks pick up a fumble, and then they kick the game-winning field goal. They win it 24-21 over LSU. So LSU loses their first game. So I appreciate everybody watching. Hope you enjoyed yourself. Hope you have a great rest of your day. May God bless you. Take care.